Okay, so we're kicking it off with Barton 1792 with Rosemary's Ride and Josh Hollifield. Barton 1792 is located right here in Bardstown, owned by Sazerac. They do tours. It's a place you definitely want to visit while you're here in Bardstown during your visit. So Josh, let's talk about Rosemary's Ride.
Well, we named it Rosemary's Ride.
Dude, put it up. I don't know. There you go.
There we go. Let's try this. Named it Rosemary's Ride because there is rosemary in our drink, and ride because it's a sidecar. The big difference with our drink, took out the triple sec and replaced that with a citrus and rosemary infused white dog that's been sweetened with simple syrup. So it gives a little bit different vibe to it, and keeping with the bourbon theme, using the white dog and the bourbon as well.
Okay, let's talk about, and you've got some Ale 8 going down in here. What's that all about? And tell them about Ale 8, for those who don't really know.
Sure. Ale 8 is a Kentucky specialty as far as the soda goes. It's very similar to ginger ale. If you're here from out of town, out of state, wherever, you have to try it. It's excellent. It's hard to explain, but it helps lighten up the cocktail a little bit.
And while our judges are drinking this, tell us about the hours Barton 1792 here in Bardstown's open, your tours, and how to come in to see you.
Yes, we are open out 6 days a week for tours. Our first tour is at 9 o'clock, and our visitor center opens at 9 o'clock. We are open until 4:30, so we have tours at the top of the hour, 9 to 3. On Saturday, we'll open up at 10 o'clock, and this weekend, because of the Bourbon Festival, on Friday and Saturday, we'll be doing tours every half an hour. Now, we are just down Cathedral Manor at 501 Cathedral Manor, which is just down the street from the Cathedral. You'll see the big black warehouse.
Okay. Good luck to you. That's Barton 1792, Rosemary's Ride. Okay, now we're moving to Blantons, and Michael Anderson here, and he's got a beautiful drink, beautiful presentation. And Michael, I'm really interested in learning more about the Kentucky Colonel. And we don't kind of hold the mic like that.
Okay. I was late. What's your name?
Kim.
Kim. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Very sorry for coming in here like a bulldog in a china closet, everybody. I was stuck at work after the lunch shift. Tried to get down here as fast as I could, so my apologies. I'm glad I was able to get it done. This particular cocktail, I'm featuring one of the finest bourbons on the market, Blantons. I wanted to feature some very natural flavors without overthinking it too much. It's called the Kentucky Colonel, K-E-R-N-E-L, of course, because it actually incorporates some of what makes bourbon unique and awesome, which is corn, and corn in its really nice, more primitive form. What we did is my chef at St. Charles Exchange, Mark Ford, took some locally grown sweet corn. He grilled it with some cilantro, extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. That's muddled into a mixture of spirits, including Blantons, Cointreau, as well as some allspice dram from St. Elizabeth, Thai bitters, and just a little bit of lemon juice. So after that's muddled, it's shaken. The garnish tries to pay homage with a little bit of natural corn husk, as well as some orange zest for aroma, and a wedge of lemon, or a wheel of lemon, pardon me. And the drink is also garnished, much like a real sidecar that you'll get in a bar that has the sugar rim. I took a bourbon barrel roasted sea salt to go around the rim and really play with the seasoning of the corn in the cocktail, kind of give you like a natural flavor. I wanted to make a cocktail that if you're at home at a barbecue and you have some guests over, you have a little extra corn running around the next day in the refrigerator, you can impress some people. So I want to thank you for letting me.
Thank you, Michael. And where is Blanton's actually distilled?
At the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky.
Very good, because I know probably you think Blanton's Distillery. I've not heard of that. Buffalo Trace down in Frankfort is actually where Blanton's is made down there, and it's a specialty bottle with a horse on top. A lot of people's favorite little bottle to collect. Again, having tours the entire time during the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. We hope you will go down there and visit Blanton Roses. Thank you. And we've got April Gibbs here drinking with her drink, and she's got the Voodoo Sidecar. And let's talk about that. April, and I'm going to come around here so I'm going to hold the microphone so you can do what you need to do.
Hi guys, my name is April. I'm representing Four Roses today. I chose a basic cocktail with a lot of alcohol. Pretty much.
Woohoo! Let's hear it for April.
It's very well balanced. And it came out the orange color, so when it came out the orange color, I was like, the garnish to use is going to have to be a Sour Patch Kid because it will throw you for a loop if you have too many. So that's where the name Voodoo Sidecar came from.
So you just, do you like voodoo stuff? Is that what you really wanted to incorporate all that?
Yeah, I like the New Orleans feel, and I wanted to bring New Orleans to Kentucky a little bit. So.
Well, very good. It looks like a great drink. And Four Roses again for you guys. You know, Four Roses is not far from here. Jim, one it takes me to get to Four Roses 35 minutes or so. About 35, 40 minutes right off the Bluegrass Parkway. Hope you all will visit. Beautiful distillery, gift shop. It's very, very different. April, thank you very much. Four Roses, Voodoo Sidecar with April Gibbs. Thank you very much. Coming back to another Bardstown distillery. This is Heaven Hill Distillery, located here in Bardstown, and getting up ready very soon to open their new Evan Williams Experience in downtown Louisville on Main Street. We're all very, very excited about that.
Yes,
But we're so excited that Jared's here. Jared is a very enthusiastic bartender, and he has a story to tell, but he said it'd take him about 45 minutes to share a story. I told him he had 2. So we've got to talk about the Heaven Hill drink, which is the Sidecar Sling. Let's talk about that, Jared.
All right, I have a little bit of a confession. I'm not the biggest fan of sidecars in the entire world. But I'm a huge fan of drinks that I can drink all day. So what we've done here, we've taken the basic sidecar recipe, which is, you know, bourbon, lemon juice, triple sec. We've added a touch of sort of a nice vermouth to it, just kind of stretch it out, make it a little lighter. A little bit of Appalachian sorghum, just cause it's so nice this time of year. The idea was to simply kind of bring a little bit more of a summer, Indian summer kind of flavor to the table. Allow you to drink a couple of them rather than just one and worrying about getting home. We're gonna garnish it with a little bit of muskmelon, and we've kind of sprayed a little bit of orange zest on top of it, just to kind of give it some flavor. And judges, I do suggest eating the muskmelon while you're tasting the drink. It really does open it up. I've noticed a lot of bourbon here recently for me has had a really great cantaloupe muskmelon sort of aroma to it, and I've kind of been getting into that a whole lot. I'm like, yay, more melons for everybody.
Well, talk about all these little bottles you have sitting around here.
We have, so, I have a little bit of bitters from 2 different companies. Bittermans, we have Burlesque Bitters, which is a heavy floral bitter, and then we have a little bit of Hellfire Shrub, which adds a little bit of spice to something that has a little bit of sweetness to it. And just dash a little dash of Angostura, bring out the barrel flavor that's in the bourbon already. That way it comes out a little bit more well-balanced and actually a little bit more bourbon forward.
So I know bitters is really big in all the drinks we've been talking about in the last several years here. Where does one buy bitters, and what kind of bitters should one buy?
Well, my opinion is all bitters are good bitters. You can get it at most of your liquor stores. I know a lot of Kroger's sell Angostura there, which is your basic one. Most of your liquor stores will sell your Peychaud's and your Regans, which are made here in Kentucky. And then you can find a lot of them online. Bittermans, Bitter Cube, the list goes on and on. Everybody seems to have a bitters company these days.
What's your favorite ingredient to put in a drink? Of all your drink, other than the bourbon, other than the product, bourbon? Yes.
I'm a huge fan of vermouth right now. I'll do vermouth shots back behind the bar all night long, only because I can keep on cleaning up afterward. It's not too strong, it's not too weak, it's somewhere right in between.
Jared, thank you, and good luck. Heaven Hill, the Sidecar Sling. Thank you. Line to Jim Beam Distillery, located right down the street in Claremont in Bullitt County. We have the Boxcar Freddie, and we have Jason Stark here. And Jason is using these special little round balls that were so popular last year, and just fun to use and drink. So, Jason, we're going to ask you a little bit about your Boxcar Freddie.
How's everybody doing tonight? Well, I came up with this cocktail. I was just trying to, one more step, sorry. I was just trying to come up with something where we did a play on a sidecar without taking away too much from the original drink. I like to enhance drinks with things like different aromatics is a big thing. So that's why I stuck with the cinnamon. I went ahead and toasted it with a blowtorch, and you set the glass over top of it and let that smoke build up in there. And it just gives a nice addition with the flavors of the lemon and the orange liqueur and, of course, the Knob Creek bourbon. You definitely want to highlight the bourbon. You want everybody to taste the bourbon still, and you don't want to cover up the flavors of it at all. It's just a good drink. Like Jared was saying, you can drink quite a few of them, and that's kind of the point too, is you want to make something that people actually think is palatable and something they want to try again.
Well, let me let you finish fixing your drink here, and then we'll chat a little bit more.
Just grating a little cinnamon on top as well.
Grating some cinnamon on top.
And then we're going to take a little orange peel and a little more fire.
So have those been soaked in something to flame up?
No, it's actually just the oils in the orange. You just take a little sliver off the side of it, kind of hold it like this, and you can see it starts to shoot a little bit of flame out there, and that's just the oil.
Okay. So we could do this at our own house?
Absolutely, but be cautious.
Yeah. You know, we're all going to go home, try this now. Everyone's going to home try to light our orange peels.
Sorry about that. Oh, you're fine. And then don't you make one more for the table?
Just wait 5.
5? Okay,
Yeah, I think you're good.
Cool.
Okay, so while the judges are trying this a little bit, let's just talk about, again, the ingredients that you're using. It's fall. If we're going to be making drinks at our house with things that we would have in our house, what are some of the things that we can make it just change it up a bit?
One good thing is, for me, is the nutty liqueurs and bourbon really get along really well. Typically, people will have the bourbon at their house, and like you said, you want something else to go with it, to play with it and make some good flavors. And I always recommend either, some amaretto, some frangelico, some Trader Vic's liqueur, something with a little nuttiness to go with the bourbon. You can even get away with literally just doing 2 ounces of bourbon and then a ½ ounce of the nutty liqueur. And it flips it up a little bit, and it kind of gives a velvety butteriness to the drink. That is one thing I would definitely recommend, and absolutely, without a doubt, the best drink you can make with bourbon to me is a Manhattan. So all you need for that one is sweet vermouth, bitters, and bourbon. I recommend 2 ounces to a ½ ounce of the sweet vermouth and 2 good dashes of bitters. And the thing with that is I would never shake a Manhattan. I would always recommend to have it stirred, so you actually blend the flavors together and not completely mesh them into one solid flavor as if you were to shake it.
Very good. Thank you very much. That's Jim Beam, the Boxcar Freddie, with Jason Stark. Good luck to you. Maker's Mark is our next drink. Maker's Mark located just down the road in Loretta, Kentucky in Marion County, but we like to call it our own here in Bardstown, and they get mad at us sometimes when we do that, but we do call it our own. We are going to go riding shotgun with Jane tonight in her Maker's Mark drink. And Jane's always very colorful. If you ever see Jane out and about talking about her product, she gets very excited about what she talks about. She's always fun to talk about. So Jane, let's talk about riding shotgun.
In Kentucky, we don't ride in sidecars, we ride shotguns. So there you go.
There you go. See?
Especially if you've had too much bourbon. So there you go. It's just got Maker's 46. The lemon juice, I use 03 by DeKuyper's, a bit of a lighter orange liqueur, a bit of fresh ginger, maple syrup, and an orange zest. I forgot what I put in it. Yeah, and that's, and then I garnish it, talking about bitters, it's Bob's Bitters. Bob's a guy who apparently tried to recreate Abbott's Bitters. Forever, it was just like one of those homemade label makers.
Yeah.
He finally got a real label, so we can take them out in public now.
So where's Bob?
Bob lives in like a dodgy part of East London, so, and he makes bitters out of like his basement flat, so,
That's not all he makes.
Not sure I want to try Bob's Bitters. I'm not sure that was a great advertisement for Bob.
They're amazing. They're amazing. Have a sniff. Have a sniff.
Oh, yeah. Whatever Bob's smoking, he needs to keep doing it, because that does smell pretty good. Okay, let's have a question that's asked about Maker's Mark, and we get this at our office a lot. Maker's 46. What's the 46 all about?
Oh,
I know you hate answering that. Aren't you going to ask me that question again?
I mean, Bill Samuels named it after a piece of wood, so it's not exactly a real,
It's not sexy.
Yeah, it's not it's named after a stave. Basically, it's Maker's with 9 weeks extra aging using French white oak, which with French white oak, you're getting a lot of that spicy vanilla. So it kind of amps up a lot of the flavors. Maker's is quite a soft, sweet, round bourbon. And so we kind of wanted a Maker's on steroids or crack or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So literally, we eject this finishing process.
Are you telling us there's crack? There's crack in Makers 46? Is this a news press release? Is that something new you're telling us, Jane?
Please don't tell Rob Samuels I said that. No, it's just basically a finishing technique we kind of borrowed from the wine industry. Those guys down at Independence Day, if you've never been to the Cooperage in Lebanon, you guys should go while you're in town. It's amazing.
But certainly not least, under the strobe lights that we're having here, it's kind of a disco strobe light thing going over Wild Turkey. We have the jalopy, and we have Alex and Jane from Wild Turkey talking about the jalopy. So which of you is talking today? You're going to talk. Okay, let's talk about your drink here.
We named it the jalopy because it has Hellfire bitters in it, and then it was a little bit of play on transportation. So that's how the name jalopy came about. The jalopy contains cilantro muddled in the triple sec, also with a cube of sugar, and then it's made with rare breed, so you get a lot of bourbon flavor in it. And then we garnish it with a grapefruit hops bitter and the Hellfire bitter.
Again, a lot of bitters going on in this drink. What prompted you all to make the jalopy and to put this kind of concoction together?
We were just looking for something that would not cover up the flavor of the bourbon, but just kind of accent it. We have a bold bourbon, and it's bold flavors to go with it.
You know, I know that a lot of people say the popularity of bourbon these days is because women are starting to drink bourbon. It's not just the Mad Men kind of bourbon drinking going on, but you know, the specialty cocktails are cool, they're fun, they can be prissy at times, which is great. And women are drinking bourbon, and good for us, and it's about time that we're starting to catch on to the secret of all these years of how wonderful bourbon is. So what are some of your favorite things that you use when you're making a cocktail? I mean, if you were to say from your home ingredients, what can we do at our own home without having fancy things?
I like the bitters, and Boston Man bitters are some of my favorite, and I also like fancy cherries, which those, you do have to get those, but good cherries make a good Manhattan good drink.
Very good. Thank you, Wild Turkey, the jalopy, Alex and Jane. All right, that has concluded our restaurants, and that has concluded our distilleries. And at this time, they're going to be tallying